It's Upstone for Vegas Pro Insiders. Today is April the 26th. I'm supposed to be here yesterday, but as it turns out, I couldn't be. And the reason that I couldn't be is because I'm getting trees taken down at the new place that I purchased. And so I thought it was going to make too much noise overall. And the guy thought he'd be done by yesterday. Not the case. Didn't get it done all yesterday. So if you hear a humming noise in the background, you know that's a chainsaw cutting down trees. So I'm just letting you know, okay? That's why I delayed it, so that's why we're here today. Today, we have 4 free picks for you today to talk about. We'll talk about all the major sports, a little baseball, a little basketball, a little hockey. Okay, all today. So we're going to get to that in a second. And today I decided also we're going to go commercial free. Okay, Vegas Pro Insiders Daily, you know where it's at. Okay, I talked about it before. We're all good. So let's just get right to the picks today. Let's start in the NBA with the lone NBA game tonight. Boston Celtics at the Milwaukee Bucks, Game 6. Now, Boston opened up as a 5-point underdog at Milwaukee. And they're looking to close out the first round. With that in mind, though, most of sharp bettors, not necessarily just the public, but sharp bettors were all over the Celtics on this one, and they were took from +5 down to +4 at the in the Brew City. And in fact, also one other thing that happened, which was, I don't know if it's remarkable, but it was certainly interesting. If you look at betting tickets on this game, when I first looked at it, when I first started the article, the 60% of the betting tickets were on Milwaukee. That has flipped now to where 59% are on Boston. So there's some trending in terms of late action, not only with sharp bettors, but also with, your average Joes. If that's the case, in terms of how that is being added up. So I think that's the right choice, though, going towards Boston on this one. They're 20-6 as underdogs this season, and Milwaukee is a miserable 10-23-3 as a home favorite. I think that's the right play. Let's advance us, talk some baseball. Seattle is at the Cleveland Indians tonight. I said 4 free picks. We actually have 5. Because on this one, we got a side and, not this one, the next one. And this one is just what it is, okay? Just a regular side bet. Geez, I'm getting ahead of myself. I have a tendency to do that every now and again, as anyone that knows me will attest to. On this one, there's line movement based on potential. Not necessarily on facts. And the reason I say that is James Paxton is pitching for Seattle. When Paxton has his A-game stuff, he can be very good. But as his, 5.61 ERA will attest to, right now he has not often had his A-game stuff in 2018. And he's going up against a, pretty formidable Cleveland lineup. Now, they haven't played maybe up to potential just yet, but they're still among the favorites to win the American League this upcoming season. So with that, the Seattle has opened at +125, and they're down to +105, a 20 cents drop. Here's where I disagree, though. Paxton, for all of his skill and potential, he has an ERA of almost 6 in 3 starts against Cleveland. And Mike Clevinger is going for the Tribe tonight, and he's been very good so far this season. His ERA is 1.75. So I'm going to add these things up. I'm not sure that the situation favors Seattle on the road. Maybe Paxton has a super game, and it turns out to be right. But I think the money, I'm putting my money, okay, on the Cleveland Indians, okay, on this one. Next up, little AL Central action, a game that surprisingly has seen as much ahead. Here's where we have the side and the total. We've got the White Sox at Kansas City. And this line has moved on Kansas City from -145 up to -160. And it's really simple to figure out why. Jacob Junis is pitching for Kansas City. He was super last year when he came up. He looked really good. And the starts, he wasn't great against LA. He took a loss, but in what I've seen, this guy could really throw the ball. I like him a lot. And compared to the White Sox, Luis Guglielmo, he hasn't been nearly as effective. He's got an ERA of 9. So that's why we see that big and substantial difference. Now the total on this one has also gone up from 8.5 to 9, which leads me to believe that sports bettors thinking that the White Sox pitchers are going to get lit up because the Royals are only averaging 3.3 runs per game. I think, once again, how do we look at this one? I'm not going against Junis on this one. Even though both teams have only won 5 games this season, somebody has to win this one, right? Unless there's a rain out. So I think that's the way. I definitely like the Royals on this one. And the total, I'm going to side with the over on this as well, because the Kansas City bullpen ERA is over 5 and the White Sox is over 7. Ouch! So I think there's a good possibility for an over. Now let's dive into the NHL. Tonight is the beginning of the conference semifinals, or round 2. And the second game of the evening on NBC Sports Network is going to be San Jose and Vegas. Now, when the odds came out on this one on Wednesday, almost immediately, the Golden Knights went from -130 up to -140 and higher. Now, as of today, in sportsbooks in Vegas, they're actually even higher still at -150 or more, which makes sense to a part of it because of the excitement of the locals backing their team in this case. And hey, it's still a new team, first year, a lot of excitement getting into the Stanley Cup playoffs. We're supposed to have the worst team in the NHL, so it stands to reason that was the case. But myself, I'm going to take San Jose on this one, and here's why. Is that I believe the Sharks are going to win one of the first 2 games. And in both cases, I think they're going to be an underdog. So if I get the first one, I'm right, I'm good, I'm out. Okay, I'll take my plus 130 to 140 on that. If I'm wrong, I still think that the San Jose will be a underdog tomorrow, or the next game, game 2. So if I win that one, I still show a profit for the 2 days. So that's what I got. So hey, this is Doug Upstone for Vegas Pro Insider Daily. I will be back tomorrow, and we've made it, I think, all the way through this video without hearing the hum of something cutting trees. So we're all good there. So as of right now, your buddy here, Doug Upstone, I am out.